Welcome to our presentation. Virtual Spaces for Critical Transitions. How immersive 3D environments support long-term distance learners. This case study explores a unique program designed for students in the final phase of their studies, using the virtual world TriCAT spaces.
With this video, we also tested a new type of presentation. It was created with the AI tool Synthesia, and here you see our personal avatars. Some of us are satisfied with their avatars, some are not.
Marianne, Doreen, and Daniel are professors for business administration at ACAD University, the pioneer of distance learning in Germany. I am a research assistant at the IDEA Institute, which Daniel heads.
We have been researching modern digital forms of online teaching for several years, and not just during the pandemic. In online teaching, tried and tested concepts from classroom teaching cannot simply be adopted. In this context, we are interested in changes in the behavior patterns of teachers and learners, as well as their role expectations.
Long-term students in distance education are not rare exceptions. Balancing work, family, and study often leads to delays and detachment. In particular, many students struggle to return to academic life when approaching the thesis phase. They need support not only with academic content, but also with motivation, orientation, and emotional re-entry.
Yes, this target group is quite large at our university. The majority of our students are employed. Many have family responsibilities, are starting families, or are caring for relatives. Many long-term students perceive the final thesis as a hurdle. It is considered particularly complex, visible, and binding, and is therefore often postponed. It is not uncommon for the final thesis to mark the point at which procrastination becomes entrenched. How can we help these students? What do these students actually need?
These students are experienced. They don't need a repeat of research methods. What they need is a space that lowers the threshold to re-engage. They need a structure that offers guidance. They need a sense of belonging and encouragement to take the next step. We believe digital teaching must offer more than just content. It must offer connection. To achieve this, we tried out the virtual 3D environment TriCAT. Why is this 3D environment suitable for our project?
TriCAT Spaces is an immersive 3D environment, as you can see on the screenshots. Participants move as avatars in walkable virtual spaces with spatial audio and media walls. This creates presence and interaction without the pressure of being on camera. For many long-term students, this symbolic change of scenery feels like a fresh start.
And that's how we proceeded in our case study. The event presented here was aimed at advanced students of a distance learning program who had already fulfilled all the formal requirements for their thesis, but had been putting off the step of finding a topic and working on it for some time. The aim was to bring this group back into contact with the university, offer them guidance, and provide them with emotional security. The focus was less on cognitive content and more on creating a learning-friendly low-threshold setting. We invited about 600 advanced students of a distance learning program via email. Within a few hours, all available spots were filled, a clear sign of demand. To lower entry barriers, we offered optional tech support via Zoom.
At the beginning of the event, participants arrived step by step in the virtual foyer and were welcomed by the teaching team. Navigating the avatars was not always easy for students without gaming experience and led to spontaneous conversations, an informal introduction that lightened the atmosphere. A short introduction explained the layout of the event. You can see it on the left picture. Then participants explored the virtual exhibition booths. After a plenary session on thesis topics, they returned to the booths and informal chats took place on the terrace, as you can see here on the right. At the exhibition, students could visit 3 thematic booths. These are literature research, citing with Zotero, and using AI in academic work, as you can see in the picture above. Additionally, a video on developing a research question was available. In the picture below, you can see the seating area where the video can be watched. The students explored freely, asked questions, and talked in small groups with each other and with the lecturers.
The decision to use TriCAT was not only a technical one, but also based on pedagogical considerations. While common online formats such as Zoom are particularly effective for synchronous communication, they often lack the space for spontaneous social interaction. However, long-term students in particular benefit from low-threshold encounters that convey not only content, but also a sense of belonging. Here, virtual worlds such as TriCat spaces offer an immersive learning environment that goes beyond pure video communication and addresses both the emotional and social dimensions of learning. From several perspectives, the use of TriCat results in significant added value.
Unlike a two-dimensional video image, an immersive walk-in room creates a feeling of arrival. Many participants perceive this symbolic change of space as a new beginning, which can be particularly helpful for students whose studies have stagnated. The change of perspective, I'm entering a new space, has a motivating effect and can break through entrenched patterns of thinking.
The event is designed as a virtual fair. Participants could explore content, view materials, and make contact as needed at their own pace at various stations. This non-linear exploratory format promotes self-management and self-organization, key skills for the final phase of a degree program.
Long-term students are often isolated, feel lonely, or feel like they have lost touch. In TriCat, participants see themselves as avatars in the room. They are visible without having to show themselves on video. This form of nonverbal presence creates a social dynamic that facilitates group processes without creating high barriers to interaction. The room offers opportunities for chance encounters, low-threshold contact, and a new perception of peer support. Many long-term students find traditional video formats tiring or stressful. The avatar in TriCat enables interaction without a camera, yet still creates a sense of presence and lowers the inhibition threshold for active participation. At the same time, it remains possible to withdraw without leaving the room entirely.
The playful element in TriCat, from individual avatar design and free movement options to social interaction in a virtual environment, contributes significantly to the motivation of participants.
However, there were technical challenges. The software must be installed, and some devices were not compatible. More staff were needed than in a Zoom call, but the emotional and educational impact was worth it. The qualitative evaluation of the event, based on partially standardized feedback and observations in the virtual space, shows a high level of acceptance of the 3D format. This is particularly noteworthy, as around 70% of respondents had no previous experience with virtual 3D environments. Participants appreciated the open atmosphere and interaction without pressure. The avatars provided a space for disidentification. Age, camera, and insecurity receded into the background, facilitating participation. Many said it was the first time they felt connected again.
Immersive virtual spaces like TriCat can support students exactly where they tend to get stuck. They offer structure, autonomy, and social presence without overwhelming. This combination helps re-engage long-term learners and gives them the confidence to move forward toward graduation. At a time when digital teaching needs to be increasingly differentiated, it is clear that vulnerable student groups need more than just information transfer. They need formats that activate, emotionally engage, and help shape transitions. The results of the case study make it clear that immersive learning spaces such as TriCat can be an effective university teaching tool against procrastination, especially when they are specifically tailored to the needs of disconnected but fundamentally experienced target groups.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation with Synthesia and with our personal avatars.
Dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ederiz.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören.
Thank you for your attention.
We look forward to your questions and ideas or your own experiences with immersive formats in higher education. Feel free to reach out for the full paper or further information.